Hi, I'm Neil Northwood, the Divisional Manager of Yokogawa RAP. Yokogawa RAP has always been a strong advocate of risk assessment being fundamental to the digital controller work process, because the actions arising from risk assessment and the control measures implemented within the process would significantly affect the safe outcome of the work. Risk assessment can take several forms. The importance of risk assessments and the level of rigour applied will vary from culture to culture and one industry sector to another. However, the universal truth is that inadequate risk assessment and the understanding of risk remains one of the most significant causes of incidents across all industries. Risk assessment is a careful, robust examination of what in the work to be done could cause harm to people, plant, production output, the surrounding environment, or even to a company's reputation. A critical safety step is to establish whether enough precautions have been taken to prevent and reduce the risk of an incident from being possible to as low as reasonably practical. Many techniques are available to assess risk, and risk matrices themselves come in several forms and sizes. The key is that certain requirements must be included in any formalised risk assessment process, no matter what method is chosen. These requirements are comprehensive, covering all potential risks; understandable, all workers have the right to be able to understand safety instructions easily; unambiguous, no doubt as to what controls must be applied to keeping the workplace safe; sensible, all instructions must be capable of being acted upon. Applying this approach will also mean a company protects its reputation, as the very high costs associated with an incident can't be rectified as quickly as a clean-up of an incident that may occur. Many systems leave out or are incapable of providing a simple thing, the correct language. There is no point in having the most rigorous, definitive and all-encompassing system in the world if in the end the user can't read it, especially in this multicultural world in which we now live. At the very least, it distances users from the risk assessment itself, and at worst, they just don't understand it, even though it may have been explained to them. And remember, they in turn may have to explain it to people working for them. RAP scores highly here in that the system is multilingual. Risk assessments can be carried out in one language and printed in another. In this case, the initial language is still the defining entity, but the copy is identical in meaning and portrayal to the original in every way apart from the language. The people element in controller work is the most important. Having the right people taking part in the risk assessment process at the right time and with a clear and formalised opportunity to exercise their knowledge and skill is key to a successful outcome. Although a seemingly obvious point, it is remarkable how many incidents are caused by inadequate risk assessments with individuals just doing their part of the controller work process before passing it on to the next person entirely ignorant of the requirements and potential contribution of other team members. It's no good if the members involved work in silos. It should be done as a team process with all members contributing appropriately. Within RAP, for example, it is possible for the person doing the work, a contractor in many cases, to play their part in the formal risk assessment by selecting the activities and tools required for the job from RAP's available icons. After all, they are the ones who know best how to do the job. It's then operations' role to sanction the assessment as a whole, but it has the effect of forcing a discussion as to how the job will be done, not just what the job is. One of the depressing facts on most operational plants is that the same incidents and accidents are likely to reoccur as time goes on. The ability to learn and learn for good isn't there. It's essential that a system captures all this information, allowing the system to learn and that this knowledge is made available to everybody for everyday use. This is vital if the site culture is to improve. At RAP, we firmly believe risk assessment should not be seen as a one-off compartmentalised event carried out at a discrete point in the controller work process. There should be a formalised part of the workflow where risks are assessed and controls identified, but there should also be an awareness of potential risk at all parts of the process. This should start with the planning of jobs, where, for example, the assessment of the impact of the proposed job on the local environment and other work going on is a vital part of staying safe. It should continue into the isolation and preparation of the equipment, where the type of isolation should be assessed for the energy source being removed and the risk posed. And in addition, of course, it should also be carried out when the work is actually being done, as risks that may not have been assessed at the outset may suddenly occur, and steps need to be taken to mitigate them. Focusing on this and other elements of control of work will ensure the workplace is much safer.